Welcome friends, welcome to our channel Learning and Development. On this particular channel, we are postings learning related to applied psychology, the various tools and techniques that you can apply for self-improvement. So I request if you have not subscribed the channel, you can subscribe the channel and also you can press notification bell so that you don't miss any particular video series. So let us start today's presentation. Today's presentation is on understanding learned helplessness. Very, very interesting and at the same time, very, very important topic for all of us in all areas of our life. So let us get into the subject, learned helplessness. Now, basically, what exactly is learning? So learning is a continuous process. We need to understand this also because there is something called learned helplessness. This helplessness we are learning. So how we are learning, we need to understand it. So when we talk about learning, it is not only the classroom learning which we generally learn throughout our life process. It is more on various behavioral aspects, all our motives, our values, our beliefs, everything is learned from the day we are born till the end. So we keep on learning. So in a bigger perspective, I am trying to figure out. So basically, these are some of the areas where we actually learn a lot of things. So based on our self experiences and experiments, we do a lot of learning that is based on our perceptions. The cultural and society norms, by observational learning, we do a lot of observational learning. uh, I'm not going to talk more on the learning theories and all because I am going to discuss on a more important topic, that is helplessness. So I'll just brief you on the overview of learning. I'll be making a detailed video on learning theories and all. So those who are interested, they can go through those videos in detail. And also through the education and parents and the teachers, like the formal education what we get. So basically what I'm trying to figure out here is the learning is a continuous process, and we learn from our self experiences, experiments, culturals, our culture and the society in which we live, and from our parents and the teachers and the mentors what they say. But during this learning process, sometimes we learn bad things also by observing others, from the society, from the norms, because of our own thought process. And one of such bad quality which we learn is nothing but helplessness. So let us understand what this helplessness is all about. Generally we would have experienced at some of the other part of your life. If you're not experienced, you are lucky enough, no issues. But yes, this is something which we need to address. So learned helplessness is one of the major cause of depression also, and this is a very initial stage. So it is always good to identify this learned helplessness and rectify it at a very initial stage. So I'll just try to initially explain you about the whole concept of learned helplessness by one or two examples, and then we'll get into that what exactly can be done. So now let us take an example that there is some uncontrolled bad event which has happened in your life. Now you can try to correlate with your events or the situations which you are facing in any dimensions of the life, whether you're a student or a job professional or a business person or in any relationships, anything you can correlate. So if there is an uncontrollable bad event which has happened, and due to that, what happens is you perceive the lack of control. Like you feel that that particular event, I have no control on that. I could have done much better. It is because of me only this has happened. And when you start thinking in this particular pattern, there is some kind of an internal damage in your thought process, and feeling starts to happen. And the worst happens when you generalize this helplessness behavior, and you declare that it is a general behavior. You globalize the whole concept. So what you are trying to do is, there is one uncontrollable event, bad event happen. Let us say for example, you are getting a lot of scoldings from your boss, and you may be concerned that it is because of your inability, or maybe because of the others issue. Is it the problem with your boss, or is it your own problem? So this is very, very important. Generally what happens is, we attribute a lot of things to ourselves. We start questioning our abilities. So the learned helplessness has to do something with that. So let us take an example. Suppose you have been removed from the job, you lose your job. But in that case, there could not be much you could have done, maybe because of the company scenario is there, or the company policies are like that, or there is some kind of internal processing is going on. So in that, you don't have much control. I mean, you don't have a control on that particular event. Now what happens is you start thinking and you start feeling and believing that it is because of your performance, because of your lack of performance this has happened. And then slowly if this happens once and twice, and it is also, there is also called transfer of learning in different areas. If you experience similar things, like if you are experiencing failure in one or two areas, it get added up to that, and then you frame a generalized statement called helplessness behavior. So what I'm trying to figure out here is, this is a learned behavior, and it has nothing to do with our personality traits. People say that no, no, he or she is like that only, I am like that only, it cannot be done like that. It is not like that, absolutely. It is a learned behavior which can be de-learned by some tools and techniques. So why we are discussing this is because it leads to depression also. So what are the important factors now involved in the thought process, I just say. So say for example, when the event has happened, there are three elements, three factors on which you can actually think about that event: stability, globality, and internal. So stability means basically what you can think is this event is temporary or a permanent event. Now here you do a wrong thing. Sometimes for a temporary event, if you rate this as a permanent, and again your thought process go wrong. Suppose the second aspect is the specific and the general. So is this situation specific, or you generalize it by your thought process, your perceptions? And it is internal means, is it your problem or it is others problem? Sometimes because of others problem we feel that it is because of our inadequacy, and then we start struggling. I have taken a detailed video on the motivation where I have talked about locus of control, so you can refer the videos on understanding motivation. I have also talked about level of aspiration. A lot of internal factors have been discussed there, so that you can understand. Self efficacy is what very important aspect I have made, which will be very relevant to this learned helplessness. So you can refer to those videos for better understanding on that. Now let us understand these important factors by a simple example, because this is very, very important for us to understand that. Then only we'll be able to actually figure out how to go about it. So let us take a small example. I'm just giving a small brief example to make you understand a very big concept. You can correlate with your experiences and your two day-to-day life experiences. It could be anything related to your work, related to getting approvals, some kind of project submissions. I mean anything you can correlate, and if it is fits with that, and you feel that yes, there is something congruency is there, you can very much get benefited out of this. So let us take an example. A student who gets a bad score in maths examination. Now this is the event has happened. Okay. Now the thought process of the student could be: number one, I did poorly on this test because I was sick, or maybe because I have not studied, or maybe the portion was not taught. I mean, he can give the reason, he or she can give the reason for that. Or else, I never have done well in the maths test. So these are the two thought process. Now, when I was talking in the previous slide, I was talking about stability. So the same student can think in a different manner. Either he can make it a temporary problem, or he can make it a permanent. So here if I see I did poorly on this test because I was sick, so this is a temporary thing. Or on the other hand, I have not done well in the math test, it is a permanent thing he is trying to think. So this is nothing to do with your personality trait, but it has mostly to do with your thought process, how you perceive the things. Okay. Now, the second part, he can also think that I am not good at maths test. This is very, very interesting and important concept. I am not good at maths test. He is or she is very, very specific. Maths test. So he or she is not generalizing the statement that I am not good at maths. So not good at maths and not good at maths tests are two different things. Okay. So, but on the other hand, the students can say I am a dumb. I am not at all good in studies and all. So if these kind of generalized statement, perceptions and thought process goes, what will happen? The globality, the student or the child is making it a global for that particular specific event. He or she is making a global event. So hope this particular concept and example which I'm trying to make you understand with the simple one, you can correlate with most of the things which you are experiencing also. You will try to find out, yes, it is matching in that areas also, to try to correlate with relevant examples in your job scenarios or any projects which you are doing or any businesses which you are taking up. And there is something called locus of control. So motivation, I as I told you, I have taken a detailed video on that, so you can refer to that. I mean, there's something called internal locus of control and external locus of control. That is very, very important aspects. You can also go through it. And most of the time what happens is it is not our problem always, it is the others person problem, and we think that there's something wrong with us, and then we start worrying and working on that. So that is not correct. So hope this particular small concept with an example is clear. So now let us get into this. Why exactly this learned helplessness we need to understand? Very, very important topic and important slide. See, people feel that they don't have any control on the events in their life. The people who have learned this, generally, it is very tough for so many things to learn. Generally, we put a lot of efforts to learn, but there is a lot of observational learning happening. Actually, in your academic scenario, a lot of emphasis is given on the verbal or the video and the test pattern, but generally as a human being, our the learning abilities are more on diversified approach. We learn a lot of things in observational learning also. So knowingly unknowingly we learn things. So one of such thing which we learned, maybe by the social interactions in the society, by observational or by experiences. And one such thing is learned helplessness, and that again affects us in our social life also. So people, they feel that they don't have any control on the events in their life, and they get demotivated, and then they are no longer motivated, and hence they stop trying. This is very, very important. See, what happens is once or twice when you have tried something and you have not got desired results, we start thinking that it is because of the me, or it is because of my inabilities it has happened. But the reason could be that maybe once or twice or thrice there could be some other factors responsible to that. It could be a coincidence that those all negative factors worked in your event only, and generally we are not able to distinguish between that, and we attribute to the failures because of our incapabilities, and we stop trying. So the moment you stop trying, it is an indication that you are learning helplessness. Very simple concept. They feel that the problems are due to their own inadequacies. That is what I was talking to her. And they are likely to suffer from depression and may go to a severe depressions also. So just try to understand and correlate what exactly I am trying to explain you here is that there are so many things which are not in your control. Leave them. I mean, they are not in your control. You cannot do much on that. So focus on the areas where things are in your control, where you can actually bring a significant difference. So your control, what is in your control? Your control is your efforts. So keep on trying, keep on giving your efforts. And there are other aspects also which can be done. So let us see what can be done. So number one, prevention is better than cure. Your learning habit should be there such that you don't learn negative things. That is number one. Initially you can guide the younger ones, or your near and dear ones. Second one is by de-learning the learned process helplessness. The learned helplessness which you have learned, there is something called de-learning, and it is also, in a controlled environment, you need to have some kind of an expert advice is required, good mentoring and a coaching is required to de-learn the process, because generally it is very hard. It is at the neurons level, and I have made a video, brief video on neuroplasticity. If you are interested, you can go through that video, neuroplasticity. You will understand how the learnings happen at the neurons level. I have discussed in brief regarding that. And align your self concept to the reality. This is very, very important. These are certain things which we can do, which, with not much efforts, but yes, with some kind of a good guidance and the counseling, we can actually achieve that. So align your self concept to the reality. I mean, I've taken a detailed video on self concept as well as self confidence. I mean, a detailed video on all the aspects of the personality, including your self esteem, your self efficacy, so you can have a better understanding. But generally, in the counseling sessions, we work more on the self concept, on the superficial things, that is the thought process and the behavioral aspects. So basically improving on your self confidence is one area where you can work it out. And the one of the important therapy, that is CBT, cognitive behavior therapy, generally it has been found most effective in this scenarios also. uh, if the learned helplessness, sometimes, they are also because of your belief system and maybe your values. So to that extent, if it is related to your belief system, your values, your attitude, your thoughts and feelings, these kind of therapies are helpful. Consulting your counselor is also helpful to, align yourself concept with the reality. There is a detailed video on self conflict I have taken. If you can go through it, it will be helpful for you. So basically what I'm trying to figure out here is the learned helplessness at a very initial stage. it can be actually cured, and you will get benefited out of it. But once it is rooted, and you it is very tough for you to actually overcome from that thought process or that feeling process, then it's the time for you to actually consult your counselors and take advice from and the help from the experts. So hope this particular video is clear and you would have get benefited out of it. So if you feel that this is good and it can help others, you can also share this video with your near and dear ones, and I will be happy to answer your comments. For any thank you so much. For any coaching, counseling, or consulting services, you can contact me on this particular number, or you can email me at my email ID. I'll be happy to answer your queries. Also, I'll be happy to reply to your comments in the videos, uh, uh, so that you feel relevant, and at very initial stages you can tackle, so that your learned the thing which you are learning, that learned helplessness, should not get into the depression or severe depressions. So that's the reason it is always good to rectify things and identify things at very initial stages. So thank you so much, and also I would request, if you have not subscribed the channel, you can subscribe for the future videos. You can also press notification bell so that you don't miss any series in this particular videos. Thank you so much.